Let us now see the code from the Visual Studio, the code that has been written. In this case, this is our project My Voting App. Migrations we have done in the previous tutorial. You must already be knowing about it. We have covered these in the last tutorial. Models, we added one model class. Today we will have to complete this part. I have already completed, so I can explain it. First of all, I will start by explaining the utility file. This utility.cs file. The purpose of this file, let me first of all open it. So as you can see here, this file consists of a internal static class utility. This is a static class that contains utility functions, and today I have only one utility function that I have called getMachineIP-address. This is required for displaying the IP address of the machine on which this software is running, so that other users from their Android phones can see that address and type it in their browsers. So this is the function that has been added, and its code you can see. This is a variable for the IP address, and here we get the host name. So many, I'll say, statements are there. You get the IP host entry. A for each loop is used for ultimately obtaining the IP address. You can go through this code on your own also, but many times people find it difficult to understand. So it is better to copy paste it also. You can obtain the source code from the downloads. So if IP is null, then you show some message to the end user that IP could not be obtained, and this IP is ultimately returned. Let us now come to the second file. So this is the only function that we have written in this file. The second file is our server.cs file, and let's examine this file also. This file contains a class called server. This will handle all the requests, the whole voting process, and in this we have added I'll just fold it off. In this we have added a read-only concurrent dictionary of all votes. Now what does this contain? It contains a string for key. This will be the student ID, and the value is string choice and is dirty. A particular student has made a choice, so the choice is A, B, C, whatever he chooses. This will store the choice, and is dirty is a flag that says whether the student has modified the choice or not. This dictionary will basically contain the voting data, and it will be synchronized with the database at the start of the application, and this data will be received into this application, and if there are any changes made by the student, then this is dirty flag will tell us that a particular record has been changed. In that case, we will synchronize back, take to the database only those records for which this flag is set as true. So, and if you are not aware of this, what is this? This is a tuple, and you can go through the course on C# that I have done, or you can search internet, that you can store two values in a tuple. Choice and is dirty I have stored. I could have created a separate class or struct also. That would have also worked for us. But this is a better technique, more readable. So that's why I have done it like this. Then let us come to the second member we have added is project context. This project context is for database communication. As you can see in the constructor, this project context will come from the program.cs file, and this is cached here, and after caching the dictionary is initialized, and this for each loop, it brings all data from the database and puts it into this dictionary. So this concurrent dictionary, it is holding all the records, and I have used a concurrent dictionary. Why? Because a server application is basically a multi-threaded application, so that is why this concurrent dictionary has been used. And next let us come to the handle request function. This is public void handle request I async result. This matches the delegate for the listener. The listener HTTP listener will be created in the program.cs file, and from there a connection will be made to this function. This function will be called whenever a request is received. So here first we obtain HTTP listener instance. You will have to take some time to understand this code on your own level also. And then this HTTP listener context with the end get context function. Then using async wait handle. This handle will automatically be released after this function is closed, is ended. Using will automatically release it. This is a scoped release, a new feature of C# 8 and later. So when this handle is released, the server can begin to handle the next request. So this is a requirement that must be done. This is all is boilerplate code. And next let us come to context.request will get the request. Similarly, we get the response handles. A message welcome server is being shown in this tutorial because we are just connecting a server so that it starts responding. At least in the coming tutorials we'll modify this a bit. You get a byte array, content length is set, and the output stream is written. This is the only thing that we have written. As you can see, this is the only thing that has been written in the server class so far. So now let us come back to complete the program.cs file. Double click and open it. And in this file, this is the port on which this is listening. If this doesn't work, you pick any port in this range, something will work. Most probably this will also work, but if it doesn't work, then pick something in this range. This is HTTP listener instance created. Prefixes are cleared, and this prefix.add, it sets the route that will handle the requests. This star means that all requests coming through this port are handled. You can read more about the documentation about this add function, where we can specify very custom routes also. But since this is a simple tutorial, I put just a star here. And next, the listener has been started, as you can see, in a try block. And if some exception arises, server failed initialize, enter, close, return, and all that. And this will catch the exceptions if there are any. And then we have this database context, and some migration stories also been added in case there are some pending migrations, they can be applied. This is just a safety guard, but keep it there, it doesn't harm us. Then this is about whether the database can connect, and you can see that if it fails to connect, then some messages are shown. And after that, this is the main part. The server is created. This DB context is passed to the constructor as we saw just now. This is the function that we wrote. The IP address is obtained, and a message is there now on the console listening on this port and this IP address. But if you're testing on a local host, then you can use localhost also. And in the end, we have a while loop waiting for a request. Listener.begin get context. This handle, this is the same function that we were writing there. Server.handle request. This function is passed to the this is the function that will be called when the request has to be handled, and this is a customary story async wait handle dot wait one. It waits till the handle is released. You can read more about that at your own level also, and this is about what we have written here. We can run it and see that it works as expected. Compile the project and then come to this exe file in the output directory, and let us right click it, and we'll right click it and run as administrator. So if everything goes right, you should be able to see listening on HTTP localhost, whatever it is, and then we can open a browser, and and we verify that it shows welcome server localhost 8090. So we verify that it is working, and a log is also appearing. This IP address is 127 because I am not on LAN right now. There is no internet on this recording computer. So that is why you are seeing a local address here. Otherwise it would have actually shown 172 dot whatever it is. So I'll close it right now. Thank you.